I don't want to travel anymore. I've been traveling since I was 17.
Okay.
10 years ago, if you'd have asked me that question, I would have said you're crazy. But I have 2 kids now, and I have a family.
Elton John is a British singer, pianist, and composer. Along with selling more than 300 million records, he has found success on Broadway, composing the music score for the Tony Award-winning hit Billy Elliot. Elton John's unique blend of pop and rock styles turned him into one of the 20th century's biggest music icons. He was musically gifted from a young age and released his first self-titled American album in 1970, making him a huge international star. He was inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in 1994 and knighted in 1998.
I think. I'm not sure, but I probably will. I'm not going to stop being creative. But it's for family reasons I'm doing it. I love those boys, and I love my husband. I want to spend time with them.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Net Worth Now, where you get to see the lifestyle and net worth of your favorite celebrities. We hope you enjoy these videos, and if you do, please remember to hit the like button and comment below who your favorite celebrity is so we can feature them in an upcoming video.
His full name is Sir Elton Hercules John, also known as Reggie, the Pinball Wizard, Sharon, and the Rocket Man. He was born on March 25, 1947, in Pinner, Middlesex, England, making him about 74 years old at the time of this production. He stands at 172 centimeters or 5 feet 6 inches tall. In 1992, John founded the Elton John AIDS Foundation as a charity to fund programs for HIV/AIDS prevention. The aim of the foundation is to eliminate prejudice and discrimination against HIV/AIDS affected individuals and providing services to people living with or at risk of contracting HIV/AIDS. Elton John married Renate Blauel in February 1984. The two parted ways 4 years later. In 1988, he came out as gay, and in 1993, he began a relationship with David Furnish. In 2005, when the Civil Partnership Act came into force, Elton John and David Furnish were among the first couples in the UK to form a civil partnership. In 1914, when gay marriage became legal, John and Furnish married on December 21, 2014. They have 2 children through surrogacy, Zachary Furnish John and Elijah Joseph Daniel Furnish John.
With my band, Bluesology, we played to maybe 30, 40 people, sometimes 200, 300. But we played the club circuit in England and Scotland and Wales.
Elton John was born Reginald Kenneth Dwight on March 25, 1947, in Pinner in Middlesex, England. An only child who was overweight and wore glasses, he was afraid of his father, a squadron leader, a ranking officer with the Royal Air Force, whom he described as very snobbish and sort of stiff. His mother Sheila, on the other hand, brought home records that introduced him to rock music. John taught himself to play the piano at the age of 4. He studied at the London Academy of Music, but quit 2 weeks before graduation to pursue a musical career. He worked for a music publishing company and played the piano in bars, later joining Bluesology. He created his stage name as a combination of the middle name of Bluesology singer Larry John Baldry and the first name of the saxophone player Elton Dean. Later in his life, John added the middle name Hercules. Elton John's first job was a weekend pianist at a pub. After that, he took up several roles forming a band with friends, working in a music publishing house, performing solo at hotels. In 1962, he formed the band Bluesology. In 1967, he collaborated with lyricist Bernie Taupin. He wrote musical compositions for the latter's lyrics. This led to the beginning of the historic partnership that still survives today. Scarecrow was the first song recorded by the two. Meanwhile, Dwight changed his name to Elton John after Bluesology musicians. In 1968, Elton John and Taupin became successful staff writers for DJM Records. They were writing and composing a song for other singers and musicians. Starting with easy lyrics and catchy music, they switched to more complex forms. In 1969, Elton John received his first break as a singer, and came up with his debut album, Empty Sky. He soon backed it with a follow-up album, Elton John, released in April 2070. The album soon became his first hit album, reaching number 4 on the US Billboard 200 and number 5 on the UK Albums Chart. The tremendous success of Elton John's second album gave him the impetus to continue making music. Consequently, in 1972, he released Honky Chateau, which became his first US number 1 album. This was just the beginning, as what followed was a streak of 7 consecutive US number 1 albums. His first song to reach the US Billboard Hot 100 number 1 position was Crocodile Rock from the pop album Don't Shoot Me, I'm Only the Piano Player. His 1973 album Goodbye Yellow Brick Road gained a cult status as it instantly hit both critically and popularly. The album established his reputation as a glam rock star. Having gained a star status, he formed his label, the Rocket Record Company. However, instead of releasing his records on Rocket, he signed an offer with MCA. In 1974, MCA released his Greatest Hits album, a UK and US number 1 certified diamond by the RIAA. This was followed by 1974 Caribou and the 1975 autobiographical album Captain Fantastic and the Brown Dirt Cowboy. He debuted at number 1 in the US, becoming the first album ever to do so. Its success was soon repeated by the rock-oriented album Rock of the Westies. Though the early 1970s was the most successful period for John, both commercially and critically, given his 7 consecutive albums reached the number 1 spot in the US, John became equally famous for his live shows and dressing sense. He was known for wearing pompous, over-the-top costumes and glasses for his elaborate concerts. In 1976, John touched the top yet again with the duet single Don't Go Breaking My Heart with Kiki D. He took a hiatus from music industry only to return in 1978 with A Single Man. Following year, he became one of the first Western artists to tour the Soviet Union and Israel. The decade of the 80s was a decent period in John's career. Though he had lost his Midas touch in music, all was not gone thanks to his drinking and drug problems. He opened the decade of 1990 in style with his first album, Sacrifice, hitting the number 1 spot in UK charts. It became his first solo UK hit single. In 2003, John scored his 5th UK number 1 with Are You Ready for Love? He has won 80 international awards. Billy Elliot, the Musica, which has been viewed by over 2.25 million people in London and nearly 11 million people worldwide. The decade of 2010s has seen Elton John perform for a variety of shows. He has his hands full with concert shows, live performances, remix albums, performances at award ceremonies, and so on. In 2016, he came up with his 32nd studio album, Wonderful Crazy, which was also his last one.
Music. And, when I look back on those days, I didn't earn any money, but I didn't have to because I loved what I was doing. I was so pleased to be doing music for a living instead of, doing something else.
The estimated annual income of Elton John is around $40 million. As of 2021, his net worth is estimated to be around $500 million. He likes to live in style, and his houses shows. He owns a French Riviera villa, a Venice apartment, a Park Place condo, and a home in Beverly Hills worth $33 million. In his garage, you can find a 1972 Ferrari Daytona 365 GTB 4, a 1955 Bentley S1 Continental Sports Saloon, a 1997 Aston Martin V8 Vantage V550, a 1963 Rolls-Royce Silver Cloud 3, a 1987 Bentley Turbo R Saloon, a 1993 Jaguar XJ220, a 1965 Jaguar E-Type 4.2 Roadster, a 1987 Aston Martin V8 Vantage Volante, a 1992 Ferrari 512 TR, and a 1973 Rolls-Royce Phantom 6 limousine are the crown jewels of his car collection.